Jesus pulling it back to Bruyne!
Kevin De Bruyne, also called the Ginger Pele, is one of the best playmakers in modern football, and like many others, his journey to stardom wasn't easy, and it was full of difficulties. He even got kicked out of his home. Early childhood. Kevin De Bruyne was born in Belgium to Herwig De Bruyne, father, and Anna De Bruyne, mother. His grandfather was a big oil investor, so young De Bruyne spent his holidays visiting Burundi, the Ivory Coast, and a lot of African countries. Kevin started playing football at the age of 4 in his hometown of Ghent. Since his early childhood, De Bruyne was destined for stardom. He showed exceptional skills with the ball and was named the future of Belgium football. Every youth club in Belgium wanted him. While growing up, Kevin always idolized Liverpool and often slept in their jerseys. His favorite player was Michael Owen. His role models were Ronaldinho Gaucho and Zinedine Zidane. Since his mother was raised in London, De Bruyne's love for English football was natural. At the age of 14, he left home and joined the KRC Genk Academy. Since the academy was more than 150 kilometers away from his home, they had to find him a foster family in Genk. When they asked him how the experience was for him, he replied, "The year went by and I was doing well in school, doing well in football, no fights, no problems." At the end of the season, De Bruyne packed his bags and returned home for the summer. Then something happened. When he returned home from Genk, he stumbled on his mother crying. As he put it, "I walked through the door and could see that my mother was crying. I thought maybe somebody had died or something. Then my mother said the words that probably shaped my whole life." His foster family rejected him. They didn't want him back. When asked why they wouldn't want him there, they said that he was too quiet, that they can't interact with him, and that he was difficult. Suddenly, everything changed. People from the Genk Academy started to think that maybe De Bruyne was the problem and informed the family that they aren't willing to pay for another foster family. That became his biggest motivation, that rejection. He reflected on it. "I kicked the ball against the fence for hours, and I remember at some point I actually said out loud, 'Everything is going to be okay in 2 months. I'm going to be in the first team. No matter what, I'm not coming back home a failure, no matter what." When he returned to Genk, he was moved to the second team. But still, Kevin waited for his opportunity. He didn't need to wait long. One game changed everything for him. He started from the bench and came on in the second half. Then he went crazy. He scored 5 goals. He said, "I remember that game. I came on in the second half and all that rage inside me burst out. I scored 5 goals." Things changed for De Bruyne and he was back on the first team. His old foster family wanted him back. One day they showed up at the club and they wanted him back. He replied, "No, you threw me in the garbage. Now I'm doing well and you want me back?" He always acknowledged that was the fuel he needed to make it where he is today. Genk. In 2008, De Bruyne was promoted to Genk's first team. However, he made his debut in the season of 2009 to 2010. In the next season, he scored 5 goals and had 16 assists, while Genk clinched the league title. In the season of 2011 to 2012, he scored 8 goals. Then came the call from Chelsea. De Bruyne signed with Premier League giant Chelsea, but he knew he wouldn't play much. Being 20 years old, he joined Werder Bremen on a loan. In this phase, playtime was more important than everything for his development. The Belgium wunderkind scored 10 goals and had 9 assists in the Bundesliga. He won the Young Player of the Year award and built up the confidence to return to Chelsea next year. Next year in Chelsea was a big disappointment for De Bruyne. He wanted to prove himself but managed to play only in 9 games. His coach, Jose Mourinho, knew De Bruyne had potential, but he chose his proven stars over him. De Bruyne felt like he needed to play, and that wasn't going to happen at Chelsea. After much consideration, they agreed that Chelsea would sell De Bruyne. In January 2013, De Bruyne signed for Wolfsburg for €22 million. Wolfsburg. The Chelsea rejection worked like the rejection of his foster family when he was 14. It fueled him even more. He soon became a household name in Wolfsburg and was named the biggest young prospect in Europe. In the season of 2014 to 2015, he set a record of 21 assists in 34 games in the Bundesliga. He also scored 10 goals. Wolfsburg came in second that season, behind Bayern Munich. They even won the DFB Pokal title. Soon, clubs like PSG, Manchester City, and Bayern Munich started bidding for De Bruyne. Manchester City. After an incredible season in Wolfsburg, where he contributed to 43% of their total goals, he signed a 6-year deal worth €75 million with Manchester City. In September 2015, he scored his first goal for City. In his first 4 games, he scored 3 goals and had 3 assists. That year, they managed to get to their first UEFA Champions League semi-final ever. Next season, Pep Guardiola became the manager of Manchester City. Even though they didn't manage to win a single trophy that year, De Bruyne had 23 assists. He started playing more in the center of midfield. That resulted in 35 assists in his 82 Premier League games. In the season of 2017 to 2018, De Bruyne helped his team win the EFL Cup and the Premier League title. That year, he had 16 assists and was named EPL Playmaker of the Year. He was quickly becoming the most important player on the team. During his time at Manchester City, he managed to win 4 Premier League titles, 1 FA Cup trophy, 5 English League Cup titles, 2 English Super Cup titles, and was named Player of the Year 2 times. He still yearns for the UEFA Champions League title. De Bruyne has always been proud to represent his home country Belgium in international matches. He debuted for Belgium in 2010, and since then, he played for Belgium 90 times and scored 24 goals. His biggest success with his national team was 3rd place at the FIFA 2018 World Cup, beating England 2-0 in the 3rd place playoff. Belgium also reached the quarterfinals at the 2014 FIFA World Cup and at UEFA Euro 2016. Today, he is regarded as one of the best players on the planet. I think it all stems from the rejection he got when he was 14, which fueled his ambition and his drive to prove himself. Playing as a central or even attacking midfielder, he is capable of scoring from every position on the field. Although he is not genetically blessed like some other guys from his team, Erling Haaland for example, he is still very fast with the ball, and his technique, skill, and vision make him the best playmaker in the world, according to his coach. His ability to find his teammates in the best possible moment is something remarkable. He is the fastest player ever to reach 50 assists. As his previous teammate Sergio Aguero put it, from nowhere, he gives you a pass that you weren't even expecting. Due to his creativeness and his quick change of direction, especially with the ball, De Bruyne is being put in the same sentence as Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. As his coach, Pep Guardiola would say, after Messi comes Kevin. When they asked him what the secret to his strong left foot is, he said that he would often play in the backyard with his weaker left leg, with the hope that his opponents one day wouldn't expect that his weaker leg could do so much damage. And yes, it did. Yes, it did. And it still does.